Hello, this is Ciro with Service Bar AI, and today we're going to review DISH. DISH stands for Digital Inspection, Sanitation, and Hygiene. And what DISH represents is a human in the loop AI solution. But DISH is not autonomous. It serves to support managers in their day-to-day duties, and additionally, help coach and train and mentor the management and the team members reviewing these inspections. Breaking down the components of a food safety inspection or a line check, you have items that require hands-on. You have reviewing temperatures. You have to check that maybe gaskets are sealed tightly for refrigeration. But the vast majority of the tasks that you'll find in a line or food safety inspection are going to be a visual analysis, right? And then that's going to give you the indication of whether to dig further and review. So what we've done is leveraged the advances in AI and image recognition, and we've trained our model in real world scenarios in restaurants, thanks to our partners. By doing this, we've been able to develop a solution that works out of the box day one, right? Regardless of your specific restaurant situation or where you may be located on the map, right? Every state may have its own specific set of compliance or guidelines that are specific to that state, county, or municipality. I mean, we recognize that. So our model's been trained on all 50 states. And when a photo is submitted, that geo pin is also introduced so that you receive the relevant feedback to your specific set of circumstances. Okay. So without further ado, we're just going to jump right in. We're going to paint the scenario. I'm a manager just coming into a shift. Let's say it's a morning shift and doing my visual inspections. And I see something that maybe needs to be addressed. Conveying that message to another staff member and then them receiving that, there may be some subjective components. If I say, hey, let's tidy up this area, tidy up may mean one thing to me and then something different to you, something completely different to someone else. What this does is help normalize that and give you an objective perspective on that issue. So we're going to go ahead and pull up DISH. And what we'll do here is a manager coming in, and let's say it's an opening shift. I take a look at one of my coolers, and I don't like the way that looks. Right? It's a little disorganized, and it just needs some attention. So I take a quick snapshot of that, and we'll say this is the produce cooler opening. Excuse me. And now we have our analysis. So with that one snapshot, what we have are the violations that were visible. And the violations have been color-coded, and that color-coded to urgency, right? The most important and critical violations being red. Hey, let's focus on these first. After that, taking a look at the major violations down to the orange, and then minor violations here in green. So, quickly, clearly being able to identify where the opportunities are and be able to give that feedback to someone, right, within 25 seconds. Hey, these are the things I need you to do. This is the order in which I need you to do them in. And then additionally, being able to assign, right, accountability. Hey, this item, I need to be done by this person at this date. An additional component here within DISH is the chat history. Throughout the day, you'll have several inspections, and some of these items may be completed within the first 2 hours, and some may not be. So on subsequent photos or reviews of area, any repeat violations, right, will be identified and notated, bringing them to your attention so that things aren't slipping through the cracks, so to say. And then here at the end, we have our actions and now our training recommendations. Hey, how do we do better more often, right? How can we tighten up the shift to make maybe these inspections smaller or shorter and few and far between? And that'll be that kind of following piece of training recommendations. So let's go ahead and let's take a look at a different example here. So I've been an opening manager. Now let's say I'm the closing manager. I'm seeing the business starting to die down. We just had our dinner pop, and I want to start getting people off the clock and rolling out, because if there's no sales, right, to support that, then labor will be compromised. We want to make sure that we give them quick, direct feedback so that they can get those things done and get off the clock and keep it moving. So we're going to take a picture of, let's say, the line. Could use a little bit of love here in the back area, right? It's not a wreck. It's not a bunch of food safety violations, but there's some disorganization, some food debris. And we could say, Ciro, this really isn't that big of an issue. I could just say, hey, tidy up this corner and then keep it moving. But that comes back to the subjective component. Staff member may not realize that the items need to be stacked in that certain order. Additionally, you may not have the time to properly review the food safety and sanitation kind of practices or best process or SOP at that time. What the app gives you is a quick way to be able to visually assess and then delegate and get those items completed. So I've taken a quick snapshot of my back line, and I'm going to say closing, we'll say the fry station. All right, and I'm just going to hit send. Now, you don't need to actually label the photo, right? The agent will work automatically and it will assume what that area is. I like to provide additional feedback to help guide the AI in that way. So if this was a bar cooler 1 or a bar cooler west, if you were to put that in there, that would also follow through in your inspection. So we saw that one quick photo, and now we have a clear, quick list for this person to get done before we have them move on out for the next shift. Right? So we have remove food items, properly store 6 inches above the ground, initial clear clutter from work area, initial empty trash receptacle to prevent overflow, initial. So utilizing this can definitely save time and help clear up any misconceptions, and additionally help mentor and coach and train, right, your team. Maybe the fry cook didn't realize that items need to be 6 inches above the ground. Perhaps this is a new manager and they were not aware of that 6 inch above the ground requirement. The tool isn't here to be served as a negative or to point out the items that are wrong, but more so to coach and foster those good behaviors, right? Making a better manager, making a better team who understands the why of what they're doing. So in a nutshell, that is DISH, and it's digital inspection or sanitation and hygiene. And that's just one of the many solutions available through Service Bar AI. Love to chat with you guys next time about one of our other solutions. Look forward to catching with you soon. Have a great day. Cheers.